very clearly said that she wants to hold the standing committee elections today, wants to get done with it today. However, it's almost midnight and one can see the kind of ruckus that is taking place inside the MCD house. Now, the councillors of both the party have been in and out of the house for almost 13 hours today. The first election, the mayor election, began at around 11:30 a.m. in the morning, and it's almost midnight and the elections for the standing committee are still going on. All the eyes now on the mayor, Shelly Oberoi, on what she will decide and whether the last elections, the standing committee elections, will be held tonight or not. That's the big question on everyone's mind. On the other side of your screens, what you are seeing are the councillors throwing water bottles at each other and a ruckus taking place inside.
मैं आशा करती हूँ सभी सदस्य मौजूद हैं अभी सदन में। ठीक है, तो एक काम करते हैं सचिव जी, थोड़ा सा हाउस को क्लीन कराइए, देखिए कितना गंद मच गया है, और हम 1 घंटे के बाद दोबारा से हाउस को शुरू करेंगे।
पंकज, मेयर आई हैं, उन्होंने बोला है कि सदन को साफ कराइए और
So that was the Mayor Shelly Oberoi clearly saying the session will resume after 1 hour. Abhishek, it definitely looks like the mayor is very, very clear. Shelly Oberoi very clearly wanting to make sure that the standing committee elections get over tonight. At the moment, it looks like the councillors are moving out.
Yes, at the moment they are leaving this house, but it's been more than 13 hours and the mayor is very clear that today is the day which has been decided by the Apex Court, by the Supreme Court, for holding all the elections, all the posts for MCD, and now it is going to happen. So after 1 hour, when the house meets again, hopefully the mayor will start the process of the election, and then again the BJP councillors who are still sitting there, you can see on your TV screen, then if they are convinced, then only the house's proceeding will go forward. So this is the situation right now. This is for the first time this is happening inside the house of MCD. Very, very interesting series of events happened today, and now there is calm. The Aam Aadmi Party councillors are showing victory signs also, but still is not sure whether after an hour these elections will be conducted or not. Over to you.
Right, Abhishek. So it seems like one will have to wait for another 1 hour to really know whether the elections for the standing committee will be held tonight or not. On the screens, you have two visuals. One, other live visuals that are coming from the MCD house, where one can see the councillors of both the party, the BJP as well as the Aam Aadmi Party, now moving out of the house. The session will resume after 1 hour. That was the announcement that was made by the new Delhi Mayor Shelly Oberoi. On the other side of your screens are visuals that took place just a couple of minutes back when the councillors of both the parties were fighting with each other. They were at each other's throats, throwing water bottles on each other. The Bharatiya Janata Party now claiming that the elections that were being conducted were not conducted fairly. They are saying that the first 50 councillors who went inside and voted, the elections were not fair. That is what the Bharatiya Janata Party at the moment is claiming. We are leaving you with these visuals of what's taking place inside the MCD house in the national capital at the moment.
You are watching India Today.
जैसे सबसे तेज आपकी टैगलाइन है, तो इसी तरह से सबसे तेज हमारी सरकार की लाइफलाइन है.
Leader must have a vision.
We will continue to work with the developing and the developed world for win-win solutions.
Nature had of course willed the survival of the fittest.
हम आतंकवाद के खिलाफ जीरो टॉलरेंस की पॉलिसी को अपनाए हुए हैं.
1 साल के अंदर राहुल कन्वर की कार जो होगी वो इलेक्ट्रिक की होगी।
There is a confrontation of competing visions.
Two top officers of Karnataka at war. A verbal spat that played out not just on social media but on television screens across the country. Now, both IPS D. Rupa Modgil and IAS Rohini Sinduri have been transferred. The Karnataka Chief Secretary has summoned both the officers and sought a clarification from them. This, a day after State Home Minister warned of action against the two officers. This viral image of IAS Rohini with JDS Neta Sara Ramesh is what triggered the feud. The two had accused each other of corruption in 2021. And D. Rupa alleged that the meeting suggested that the bureaucrat and the politician had struck a deal. Then on Sunday, IPS officer D. Rupa Modgil shared private photos of IAS officer Rohini Sinduri on social media. She claimed that Rohini had violated service conduct rules by sending her photos to at least 3 male IAS officers.
Whose fault is it that it is the next step, that is after preliminary inquiry, the logical step is that the disciplinary inquiry should be held. So why is the disciplinary inquiry not held against her? Every time she escapes these kind of actions, why is that? Who are the officers who are helping her?
Enraged by the allegations of corruption and her private photos being made public, bureaucrat Rohini hit back, insinuating that Rupa suffered from a mental illness.
All I can say is get well soon.
Side, please. Side, sir.
The public squabble between the two women officers caused a flurry in bureaucratic circles. And while both D. Rupa and Rohini Sinduri have now a gag order against them, the virulent exchange has dented the image of both the government officers. Bureau Report, India Today.
Asia is all set to rule this decade, with the International Monetary Fund placing its bets on India.
You are watching India Today.
Now, the Aam Aadmi Party may have won the mayor dangle, but there is more trouble brewing for one of its top ministers. The Ministry of Home Affairs has now given its nod to prosecute Manish Sisodia, who is the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister. He is also accused to be heading the feedback unit that allegedly spied on political opponents. Watch this report.
Yet another setback for Arvind Kejriwal. His most trusted lieutenant in the Delhi government and the Aam Aadmi Party, Manish Sisodia, is again on the radar of the central investigative agencies. The Ministry of Home Affairs has sanctioned to prosecute Deputy Chief Minister Sisodia in an alleged snooping case after a CBI request was approved by Delhi LG VK Saxena. The CBI sought sanctions to register an FIR against Sisodia, who heads the Vigilance Department of the Delhi government. The feedback unit was created under this department in 2015 after Aam Aadmi Party came to power in Delhi. The Deputy Chief Minister is accused of running the feedback unit to snoop on the opposition. Aam Aadmi leaders are also accused of siphoning government funds for the spying mission. Sisodia has called the case against him false and asserted that it is a sign of BJP's weakness. Taking a jibe at the Saffron Party, he said Aam Aadmi Party's growth is unnerving the BJP.
पेगासस किसने खरीदा था? केंद्र सरकार ने खरीदा था। वहाँ बताए केंद्र सरकार की वो जजों की, पत्रकारों की, राजनेताओं की जासूसी क्यों करा रही थी? केंद्र सरकार को बताना पड़ेगा।
जो 700 लोगों की जासूसी कर रहे हैं, गोपनीय डेटा इकट्ठा करके पता नहीं किसको किसको शेयर कर रहे हैं, तो ऐसा अपराध करने वालों को सजा तो होनी चाहिए। हम कह रहे हैं कि जांच कड़ी हो और अगर दोषी हैं तो चाहे वो कोई भी हो, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी क्यों न हो, या कोई मनोज तिवारी क्यों न हो, जो दोषी है उसको सजा होनी चाहिए.
In the last 8 years, with all their agencies, has the Bharatiya Janata Party been able to present even evidence of 1 rupee of corruption by Aam Aadmi Party? Of course they haven't. They have not been able to present evidence of corruption in 200 cases, so it is very clear even in the 201st, nothing is going to be there.
They have always played the victimhood card. This victimhood card won't do. They must come and answer the questions because the victimhood card has proven to be a fake card. None of the cases have been quashed by the courts of law, and today they must answer the questions that are being posed to them, not try to run away from them.
First liquor policy and now Snoopgate. The cup of vows for Sisodia only seems to be spilling over. With Ram Koinkar and Amit Bhardwaj in New Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
It's time for us to take a very quick break. More news coming up on the other side.
You are watching India Today.
The first schedule of Tiger Shroff and Akshay Kumar's Bade Miyan Chote Miyan has been wrapped up. The news was confirmed by the producer of the film, Jackie Bhagnani.
सर अपनी अगली फिल्म अनाउंस कर रहा हूँ.
कब आ रही तेरी?
क्रिसमस 2023.
मुझसे क्लैश करेगा? क्या नाम है तेरी फिल्म का?
सर छोटे मियां. आपका?
बड़े मियां.
Tiger Shroff too took to social media to share this picture and wrote, "It was an honor riding alongside you, Bade. Akshay Kumar, coming to you at the speed of light in a cinema near you." Directed by Ali Abbas Zafar, Bade Miyan Chote Miyan is a modern take on the 1998 film of the same name, starring Amitabh Bachchan and Govinda.
दिखाई नहीं दे रहा? आरे की धार तेज कर रहा हूँ.
मेरे को उल्लू समझाए क्या? समझने की क्या जरूरत है? तू तो वैसे ही. मैं सब समझ रहा हूँ. तुम दोनों का अकेले में भागम भाग का प्लान है. मेरे को साथ में लेके जाना पड़ेगा.
Meanwhile, Akshay was in the capital recently to promote his upcoming film Selfie along with his co-star Imran Hashmi. The event was jam-packed with fans cheering for their favorite actor.
So nice to see such a loud, energetic crowd here.
Tell us about the industry first. How is it going, and when we end the fiscal year, what would the numbers stand at?
In 22-23, we'll end up with about 75,000 crores of exports.
Okay.
And about total production of about 350,000 crores of mobile phones. That's where we are going to land up with. And the total electronic production will be approximately $90 billion. Total electronic exports should cross $20 billion.
The industry, on the other hand, has been seeking a lot of strength with respect to the PLI incentives. Even non-fiscal incentives also the industry seeks. So are you saying that the industry needs to move beyond PLI schemes and fiscal incentives or non-fiscal incentives and start work on their own so that they could probably then become Atmanirbhar?
There is some things which the industry can do. I think that will happen automatically once the scale kicks in. Once the scale kicks in, then you can't hold back Indian entrepreneurs. That is the tipping point where things will dramatically change, and that portion of disability will get taken care of. Before that, I think the governments have to kick in as far as infrastructure is concerned, see how better the power situation now is compared to 2 decades back. Now, we need to do better in terms of pricing.
Last question, how are you seeing India's cellular manufacturing and electronics manufacturing industry going forward? How are the supply chain concerns for India, and are you in touch with the government for any incentives or schemes or any other support that you might be wanting, sir?
This is a very proactive government, and all of government and all of industry works together. The same thing we can say about Government of India and Government of UP. And in fact, in some ways, the government is running ahead of the industry in identifying the gaps of the industry and asking us what we need. I think it's a wonderful partnership, and I'm very optimistic about the future.
curry, and the laddu. The people vote for us based on what the ideologies that we have. What do the young of Shillong want?
I just want to go out of Meghalaya.
If you're standing by the people, then expect people to stand by you.
In 30 years of doing political rallies, I've never quite seen anything like this.
And we would like to be king, not a kingmaker.
The future's not ours. Whatever happens in its politics, we will celebrate with music and food.
India gets its first ever transgender ward. The GT Hospital in Mumbai has opened a facility exclusively for the community. The ward has 30 beds with separate examination and dressing rooms and has gender-neutral toilets.
What happens is, of course, if it's a patient is critical, for example, if he needs an ICU, if he requires a surgery, then in these places there is no gender division. So these patients will have to go there, but for other things like nebulization, CPAP, so all that will happen under one roof.
GT Hospital has trained more than 150 staff members to sensitize them on providing medical treatment to transgender patients.
We've taken the help of transgender community in developing the ward. What are your needs? In that context, we actually had sensitization of around 150 of our own employees to know how to, be sensitive to their needs, to their issues.
The hospital authorities say their initiative is a step in the direction of making India more gender inclusive. With Dev Kotak in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Welcome to the news today, your primetime destination news, newsmakers, talking points Wednesday night. This is where you get all the big stories and discussions. Let's tell you what's our big talking point tonight. Kaun banega challenger? Is the opposition at war with each other? Can they really ever come to a united platform? Mamata Banerjee squares off with Rahul Gandhi. We'll tell you more of that later on. But first, as always, it's time for the 9 headlines at 9. Another setback for Uddhav Thackeray. Supreme Court refuses to put Election Commission order on Sena name and symbol on hold. Eknath Shinde to retain the bow and arrow. Uddhav to continue with the torch symbol. A day after Mallikarjun Kharge declares Congress will lead the alliance in 2024, Rahul Gandhi slams the Trinamool Congress, accuses it of a history of violence and scams. TMC hits back,